Are you subscribed to the Her Business podcast? If not, you should be. It not only helps us create even more great content for you, but it'll help you stay up to date on the shows that we put out every single week. We talk about money, we talk about leadership, we talk about self-compassion, we talk about growing a business that works for you. There are so many essential business topics that we cover here. So wherever you get your podcasts, be sure to subscribe so you're notified for every episode that drops. Your business, your rules. Grow a business that works for you. This is the Her Business podcast. Hey there, Susie here. I'm the CEO at Her Business. I'm also your host for this podcast. And today I want to have a real and honest conversation about something that often happens to business owners when they've been in business for a few years. But it's something that's rarely talked about. So when you do hit this point, when you start feeling this thing, you think that you're the only one experiencing it. It's this midlife shift that happens after 5, 10, 15, 20 years in business when you realize you're just not loving what you do anymore and you probably don't want to do it for the rest of your life. But you've built things, you've achieved things, but seasons have shifted. Maybe the kids don't need you like they used to. Maybe your parents need you now. Maybe your body is asking for a different pace. Maybe the conditions you require to feel good have changed. Life feels different. Your identity feels different. And the business that you had 5, 10, 20 years ago, it doesn't fit anymore. You've fallen out of love with this business and maybe even this life that you've created for yourself. Now, so many women business owners are in this spot. And I recently had someone write to tell me this. She said, "My business technically works, it's profitable and established, but it no longer feels aligned with who I am or how I want to spend my time. My energy goes to work that's competent but uninspiring. I'm stuck in over-delivering, client dependency, and mental fatigue. I've outgrown this version of my business, but I haven't fully stepped into the next one." I can totally appreciate what she was saying. And that's exactly what we're talking about today. About what to do when you feel like you've lost that deep sense of connection that you once had, when that drive and desire to build shifts into something else. So let's get real for a minute. What does this actually look like when you're in it? What do we call this shift? Because it really comes as a dramatic burnout or big aha moment that shakes you to your core. For some women, it is a lot quieter. It looks like staring at your calendar this month and feeling a heaviness in your heart, even though it's filled with client meetings and scheduled work that you once dreamed you could have. It looks like delivering on client projects that you've done over and over to the point that you could do them in your sleep, but not feeling that same excitement when sending things off to the client, not like you used to. It looks like pushing off new ideas that pop up because they don't seem fresh and inspiring. They feel like one more thing to add to your to-do list. And it looks like slowly fading into the background of your own business, deep in the weeds, deep in the work, and so used to the same work that you're accepting that this is simply what business and life is going to look like. And then what does it feel like? It feels like waking up in the morning, already exhausted, not looking forward to the day ahead. Hang in there, I'm going to get to the good stuff, the feel-good stuff. But you're wondering where your spark went. It's when you catch yourself feeling resentful or a little jealous of other people's successes or lifestyles. It can feel like feeling flat. It feels like fantasizing about what it would be like to not do this thing I've always done. Booking a one-way ticket to a new life and never looking back. And usually it's not that you hate your business, it's just meh, as the kids say. That joy has leaked out over time. You aren't lit up in the same way that you were. And here's the worst part. On the outside, no one can tell. Everything looks swell. You're bringing in good, consistent money. And to your clients, your team, your family, your friends, your peers, you look super successful. And maybe you are successful in the conventional definition of success, but we all know that success means something more. It means alignment and fulfillment. And you can just feel that that isn't where you are right now. If any of this sounds like you, know that you are not alone. So many women in our community and in my own group of peers have told me things like, one woman said to me, "I just turned 60, I'm financially secure, I've been in business 24 years, but I'm not sure what to do next. Do I give it all up? Do I sell it? Do I find a way to step back and work more in the background. And I got another message from someone that said, I've always said that the minute I get out of bed and I'm not excited about going to work, I know I've hit the it's time to change stage. Well, I think I'm there now. I've lost the motivation, the mojo, the excitement about it all. It's not just you feeling this. So many others are at this stage, knowing they're ready to change, but not really sure what that first step is. So let's talk about that first step, because it's actually a very exciting stage if you look at it this way. Let's talk about how you can move through that threshold moment and how you can come out on the other side more aligned, feeling that spark again. And it's the framework I've created called the business remodel that I want to walk you through. And it includes 3 steps: realign, reconnect, and redefine. And I'm going to walk you through these in detail, but for now, let's begin by talking about identity. And it's about the difference between who you were and who you are now. When I first started out in business, I was all grit. I wanted to work long hours. I would say yes to everything, and then I'd figure out how to make it all work later. I was flying around the world. I was getting sold out rooms for my events company, booking big names on big stages, and it looked like a dream on the outside. And that season of life served me for years and years and years until it didn't. I was ignoring the signs from my body and from my heart that maybe the pace I was going at wasn't right for me anymore. Maybe I had exceeded my goals and now I was just spinning because I didn't have another vision for what I wanted life to look like. So I just kept doing the same thing. Going at that crazy pace couldn't last long. I reached a point where I couldn't stay disconnected anymore. I needed things to change. I had to fight back the feelings of thinking that I had failed if I changed things. Because I hadn't failed. I had just grown way beyond the things I was doing. And maybe you felt that too. You've grown, you've evolved, and your business hasn't caught up. And maybe you're still running offers that are designed for the version of you who wanted to work nights and weekends without blinking, who was happy to say no to personal engagements because business was so exciting. If you're still carrying the I'll do everything, I'll save the day identity for your team, your family, your clients, and you don't want that identity anymore, then you're in the right place. Because maybe what will happen is you'll be a bottleneck because you've built a business that needs you to do everything. So what do? Well, what we're doing here today is taking an honest look at our business as it is now. What parts of the business were designed for the old you? What doesn't feel right anymore? What is a role or responsibility that doesn't fit anymore, even if it used to fit you like a glove? This is one thing that midlife teaches you. Whether you're ready to learn the lesson or not, your identity will evolve and you're allowed to let it. You're allowed to want different things. You're allowed to say, that worked, but it doesn't anymore. And once you do, you realize that it isn't quitting. It is you taking on the role of self-leadership, which in turn impacts those around you. I want to touch on a word you don't hear every day in business conversations: desire. And what I mean is bringing back the fuel, because joy, having what we want, it's really what fuels us to want to take more action, to keep moving forward, right? It's something doesn't feel right, we won't want to move towards it. What makes us jump out of bed excited to start the day? Desire is what can have us feeling fulfillment at the end of the day. Grounded, practical kind of desire powers your energy, your creativity, your results. And there was a stretch of time in my business when I was delivering a program that ticked every traditional box. Marketing funnel working, profitable, happy clients getting results. And yet every delivery felt heavy. Every time we were getting close to the program, I was like, my body was saying clearly no, but my brain said, hey, this works. You must keep going, keep producing, because it works, it pays bills. And the day I finally listened to my instinct, I didn't give up and light the business on fire. I created space for myself. And I created space for offers that had me feel alive. Spaces where I felt more alive. And sometimes we can think of joy as an extra, a bonus, a treat for when everything is done. But when you think about what keeps you going, joy, desire are actually the opposite of frivolous. Joy is actually your fuel. Without it, it can feel like hustle and grind and racing through the week and heads down and being in the weeds. But with joy, we create better, we decide faster, we lead smarter. And for me, reclaiming desire, what do I really want, looks like many things. It looks like bringing back music and dance on a personal level, adding favourite songs to playlists, having a silent disco party with friends and clients. It looks like curiosity-led projects that don't have a guaranteed return on investment, something that I want to explore just for fun. It looks like more travel woven into my work, like our Her Business Trailblazers experience, where we take women to the most exquisite parts of the world, where we hold retreats. That all came from that spark of what lights me up, what do I think is going to light up other women. It also looks like admitting I want to only work with established business owners who want leverage and aliveness, not just hustle and profit and the latest strategies and tactics. And so desire can be, I desire working with a different client, or making more space in your calendar, or a simpler offer, or more creative time, or making time to focus on your health, or more time for moments with your loved ones. So I invite you to find space and time to think about what used to light you up years ago. Maybe it's business related, maybe it's entirely personal, because what we do when we're off the stage impacts who we are on the stage. And I'm calling your business the stage. This is where you come and you present and give to the world. But what is happening off stage that lights you up, that allows you to get on your stage, on your throne, and do it with ease and do it with grace and do it with majesty? What could you reintroduce to your life this week? What could you do for just 10 minutes that has the sole purpose of bringing in joy to your day? And I want you to not slip back into feeling like taking this time is selfish or frivolous. I guarantee that 10 minutes of fun, of joy, will show up in your work the rest of the day. You will feel lighter, you will feel more creative. I've been going at it for hours this morning. I'm doing a little cramming right now because I'm about to head off for 7 weeks. And so for me, right after this episode is in finished recording, I'm going to be putting on a little music. I'm going to be making myself a nice cup of tea. I'm going to be checking my socials. I'm going to check in with my mastermind, things that make me feel happy. So what can you take 10 minutes to do today that is going to have you feel lighter or more creative? That energy you create during those moments is adding fuel to your tank, and that fuel will energize everything else, not just your work, but your time with family, your time at the gym, whatever it is. So let's dive into this remodel framework. So it's called the business remodel. It has 3 parts to it: realign, reconnect, and redefine. And I want to start with realign. In fact, I just did a workshop where I outlined this model. And while I don't have another one on the calendar yet, I encourage you to make sure you're on our email list so that you get news when I run this again, because it was incredible. So let's start with realigning. How can you update your business to match who you are now? So if your vision has changed, or if your definition of success has shifted, how has your business adapted to that? And think about your offers. Which ones energize you? Which ones drain you? What could you sunset or pause or reshape? And think about your clients. Who gets your best results and best energy? And you want to tighten that filter. How can you work less with those that drain you and more with those who have you feel energized, those who you want to pour your energy into? And think about boundaries. Where does scope creep or last-minute urgent work or weekend availability erode your life right now? I want you to identify a boundary that you want to reinstate. Maybe that means no calls on Fridays. Maybe it means your offer package will no longer include something, that takes a whole lot of time and energy. Maybe it means extending the turnaround time that you promise. So that's realignment, getting realigned with how you want your business to look. Now let's move to part 2 of the business remodel framework. And that is reconnect. This is about plugging back into your purpose, your people, your practices. Why did you start this business in the first place? What impact do you love the most? What practices keep you clear and aligned? So think about your purpose or your why. What is the transformation you live for? I know for me, the transformation I live for is seeing women take back their power, take back their self-worth, realize that the numbers in the bank, the number of followers do not equal their worth. How they feel about their business, that is their worth. That's the transformation that I live for. Are you incorporating the transformation that you live for into the offers that you make? Are you spending more time on deliverables that don't create the transformation you're looking for? Are you scheduling time to do the work that really makes you say, yes, this is why I do what I do? And think about your people. Are you spending time with those who leave you energized, with clients you love, with a community that you can be you around? My mastermind, my community, the Her Business Women, I can be me around them. There's no pretense. There's no judgment. It's about lifting each other up. And are you around people who inspire you and get you excited to create again? How can you bring more of that energy into your life? And think about your practices. Maybe you need more CEO time scheduled on your calendar. That's time to get out of the to-dos, to remember where you want to go and how you're going to get there. Maybe you need more days to learn, to be a student again, to increase your creativity and inspiration. A friend of mine, the wonderful Karen, has built in Wednesdays as her personal and professional development days. She runs a very busy alternative therapies clinic. She's a vet in California. And she has designated Wednesdays to her personal days. So those days she might attend her mastermind, she might have a mentoring session, she might listen to podcasts, she might read, she might take herself on a walk. And what this does is it refuels her for the busy days on either side. So she didn't know her business would survive if she did that. And the thing is that it allows her the space and time to think. This is CEO time scheduled in her calendar. And it's making all the difference to how she thinks about her business. So reconnecting with your why, reconnecting with these things we've just talked about, will clear up the waters and highlight what it is that brings you joy, what leaves you energized. And it shows you that you can strategically place more of those activities in your days. You can have more of those offers. You can be around more of those types of people. So that is a reconnect. And the third part of the business remodel is redefine. And let's be honest, are you still operating like you're self-employed? Even though you have a team now, even though you're a leader and a CEO, are you doing it all? Are you being a bottleneck? Or do you have operations and systems in place that allow you to lead rather than manage? It all starts with letting go and redefining your role. And this can be as much about mindset as it is about the tasks that you keep and the ones that you delegate. So if we start with tasks, I want you to pick something that you're going to let go of. Maybe it's being the customer support person. Maybe it's editing your social posts. Maybe it's scheduling. Maybe it's being the person that your team texts at 9 p.m. for a last-minute emergency. So decide what you're going to let go of. Then create the systems or get the help to create the systems to free yourself from that. If something is repeatable in your business, document it. If it's documented, delegate it to someone else. Buy back your time, as the wonderful book by that title says. Step into your role as a leader. Your job, redefining your role as the leader, has you making decisions, providing direction, fostering development. It's not about doing everything that needs to be done. And the second part of redefine is redefining what success is. What does success look like for you? I know for me, as a 20-something, all fired up entrepreneur, success was revenue. Success was number of team. Success was some material things. Success for me now is how much time do I have? How much travel can I build into my calendar? Because for the longest time, I surrendered the fun adventurer in me. I went deep with serious work. That was all I knew. And I surrendered the more sensitive, intuitive side of myself. And I led mostly by logic and what made sense and what was going to contribute to the bottom line. So I redefined that. I took back that I'm a very sensory leader. I feel everything. My gut feel matters in decision making, and my inner knowing, it supports me in getting my goals, even when the decisions I make may not seem logical. I want you to know that you can get spark back into your life and your business, that you can feel like you are doing what you love every day. Do what you love every day is our tagline here at Her Business. You can feel excited every morning when you wake up. You can get that giddy feeling about your business when you are creating something new. But first, you have to identify where you are now. So I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions as we close out this episode. Where am I feeling heavy or resistant right now? Where have I been tolerating something I've outgrown? What shift would unlock the most energy for me right now? I'll say this again. Where am I feeling heavy or resistant right now? What have I been tolerating or doing that I've outgrown? What shift would unlock the most energy for me right now? And you might want to take a moment and pause and write those questions down and give yourself some time to answer them and keep coming back to them. The answers may change, but they will give you a clear picture of what is creating a feeling of disconnection and exactly where you can change things to start to feel the spark again. Being in midlife and mid-business means so many things. Your energy changes, your responsibilities change, your desires change, your relationships change, your body changes, your brain changes, your desires and goals for what you want your business to look like change, what you want to do for the rest of your life. And this is a good thing because we begin to get clarity with what matters when we start to pay attention, when we realize that we do have choice. You are wiser, you are more you now than you ever were. And the way you work can honor that. And remember, this doesn't mean you need to, reinvent everything overnight. You just need honest tweaks that compound over time. It might be a change in the offer that you quietly sunset, in saying no to that wrong fit project or that wrong fit client. It could be the morning routine that you protect, or the price that you raise to reflect your value and your experience. It's that 2-day thinking break that you take because space makes you better. It's that retreat that you come to because you know that getting away from the day-to-day is what you really need to make this midlife shift. And if you're listening right now thinking, I should have heard this years ago, I've left this feeling drift for way too long, you are not too late. You are right on time. Now is the time for this shift. So start just by making those small decisions, the small boundaries we talk about, and incorporate more joy and desire into your life. And I am doing the same thing. And I'm not all the way there. Just little steps, baby steps. Slowly, together, we're going to realign our businesses and our working life with who we are now. So there's no need to blow it up unless it really needs to be blown up. There's no need to quit or to burn it all down. You just need to start to make a shift this week towards the next stage. What feels more aligned? What feels more connected? And then make another and another. That is how your momentum returns. That is how your joy returns. That is how you reclaim midlife on your terms. Your business, your rules, right? So if you're in the middle of this midlife shift, I want you to know that there's many other women going through the same thing right now. You are not alone. And even if you feel disconnected right now, know that there is nothing wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. But do listen to that quiet voice that's telling you that things are not aligned. And slowly but surely start working towards being more content, more fulfilled. And then if this message resonates with you and you're looking for a community of women who get what that transition is like and where these conversations are happening all the time, make sure you're inside the Her Business Network. That's where you're going to find peers and tools and experiences that are designed to fuel your clarity and bring you closer to the business that lights you up. This is your business. This is your life. Let's get what you want. And if something isn't working for you, you can change it. Now, over on our website at herbusiness.com/326, that's the number of this episode, we're going to put anything that we reference here today, including a link to join us inside of Her Business. Or you can head on over to herbusinessnetwork.com. It's by application. So we want to make sure that we're a good fit for you. So there are a few questions that we ask you to answer to make sure that what we offer inside the closed doors of Her Business are going to match what you need. But if you're looking to design a business that works for you, then you want to check us out. Now, I want to give a shout out to one of our members who is also a listener. She's a naturopath and a registered nurse, and she helps tired and stressed professionals regain their physical and their mental health so that their vitality and their productivity are at their optimum. And she does this in a fascinating, unique way, and it's through hair tissue mineral analysis, which she offers through private consultations, and she has online courses. Her name is Sari Young of Sari's Natural Medicine. And she sent me an email, actually. She said, I'm looking at the September Growth Guide. The Growth Guide is a publication we offer our members every single month where we curate resources for them to listen to or watch or download. So whatever your learning modality is, there's something in there. And it connects women to other women in the network. She said, I feel so blessed to have found you years ago. You have been the steady guide through my business growth while navigating babies and children. I've just looked at all the webinars available in this month's Growth Guide, and I just want to watch them all. You are an inspiration, and I wanted to say thank you. Well, Sari, I want to say thank you, because so often we're working with clients, we're doing what we do, and we don't hear the impact of our work. So I have passed your message on, Sari, to my team as well, because effort goes into that Growth Guide, hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars in resources available to our members every month to help them keep making progress. So thank you for your message. So if you enjoyed this episode, I would love it if you would leave us a rating or review on Apple Podcasts, or you can shoot me a direct message on Instagram. You'll find us at @herbusiness, or you can send us an email, just like Sari did. So once again, on our website over at herbusiness.com/326, you will find a summary of today's episode and links to other resources that we've mentioned. Now, if you are new to the show, go ahead and hit subscribe or follow wherever you're listening, and join me next time. On the next episode, we have more inspiring stories and lessons from successful female entrepreneurs coming up in new episodes. I'll see you next week right here on the Her Business podcast. Bye for now.